What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Back Pocket Topics. I'm Cooper,
And I'm Scott.
and today we're going to be giving you guys a preview of the NFL playoffs. And after last night's college football playoff final, I'm definitely ready for the NFL playoffs to start.
Yeah, the NFL playoffs are definitely going to be a lot more competitive than Georgia versus TCU. At least we had a good first semifinal games in college football. Both of those were really good, but actual national championship itself was, let's just say, I turned it off after probably halftime.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Just an ass kicking. That's what it was.
Wasn't even close. And yeah, but the NFL should be a lot more competitive. And like just last year, we had some incredible games last year. And this year, the NFL seems almost more unpredictable than it's been as unpredictable as it's ever been. So we should be in for a great postseason. And we're just going to start off by looking through this week's wildcard games and then skipping up to the conference championship game and then our Super Bowl pick. And yeah, that should be good for today. So Cooper, I'll let you take us away.
Yeah, for sure. So what we're going to do is go in chronological order. There's games on Saturday and Sunday and then one Monday night game. So we can start with the first playoff game of 2023. That's the 7-seeded Seahawks at the 2-seed 49ers.
Okay, so I think that this might be the least close game of any of the playoff games, because not only are the 49ers just a far more talented team, they completely outclass the Seahawks.
Yeah.
But I think that the matchup is just really bad for the Seahawks in general too. Like, I feel like their run defense this year hasn't been anything special, and the 49ers have been able to run all over people, and the Seahawks offensive line and just in general, like, I think that the 49ers defense is just going to eat them alive. And I think if any game is going to be like a 2-score, 3-score game in this first round of the playoffs, it's going to be this one.
Yeah, I would agree with a lot of that. I think it's actually going to be the second worst blowout. We'll talk about what I think is going to be the worst later. But I totally agree. The 49ers are just a better team. And not only that, I think a lot of the guys on the 49ers, including like just from top to bottom, quarterback, whatever, not quarterback actually, but like offensive personnel, obviously has more playoff experience than I feel like the Seahawks. And I feel like the Seahawks have a lot of young guys like Kenneth Walker, Tariq Woolen, who are very talented players, but everybody always says that the playoffs are a different breed of football. And I do think that that's going to significantly benefit the 49ers. And yeah, I'm excited to see Brock Purdy, see how that works out.
Yeah, speaking of Brock Purdy, gonna move that over to coaching. Kyle Shanahan is just incredible, so I think that he's gonna outcoach every single team he goes up against, and he's gonna, and like Brock Purdy, that's gonna be the question, like especially later in the playoffs when they have to go against some better defenses. Like, is he gonna be able to hold up? But I think that Kyle Shanahan's gonna make his life as easy as possible, and it'll be a good I think the 49ers are going to make a deep run potentially.
Yeah.
And it's going to start off with a commanding win against the Seahawks in the wild card.
For sure. Our second game of Saturday is an AFC game, the 5th-seeded Chargers playing in Jacksonville against the 4th-seeded Jaguars.
Do you want to go first with this one? Because I went first
fine.
for the other one.
I do think this is going to be a close game that I'm definitely excited to watch. Two of the young and blossoming quarterbacks in our league, and Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence. I do think that the Chargers are going to come away with this. And there's a couple of reasons for that. I feel like they're getting healthier at the right time, which is always good. I believe I saw that Mike Williams was cleared to play, and he's been struggling with some injuries throughout the season. And I think Joey Bosa might play. I believe I saw. I think he might be coming back to play. Which,
that'd be big.
Yeah, he's a guy that's definitely going to create some problems for the Jaguars on offense. And just overall, I feel like on both sides of the ball, I feel like the Chargers have more like talent than the Jaguars overall.
I do think that this is going to be one of the more exciting wild card games, and I wouldn't be surprised if I could see either team winning very easily. Like the Jaguars have some really good wins on their season, but they have also got some really dumb losses that it's just like, what are you doing? How are you losing to this team? So like, it really depends on which team is gonna show up. If it's gonna be the good team, the good Jaguars, or if they're just gonna show up unprepared, not ready for the playoff atmosphere and whatever. Like, I kind of want to pick the Jaguars because it's more fun, and like, I don't know, I'm just getting really good vibes from them. But the safe pick is definitely the Chargers, and I definitely could see either team winning. I think in my actual predictions, I'm gonna go with the Jaguars because I think it's fun. I think that Trevor Lawrence is peaking at the right time. I think that they're a well-coached team overall, and they're just seeming to get all their offensive pieces the ball at the in good moments, and just they're getting their playmakers involved well. Their defense has been playing pretty well overall, and I think that while the Chargers are definitely favored, I think if I'm going to choose an upset, I think this is going to be one of the upsets I'm choosing.
Yeah, I do think it'll be a close game. One thing that kind of concerns me about the Jaguars in general, I don't know if you watched them play the Titans. When was that? Thursday night? It was a night game. Saturday night. For the AFC South division, obviously win, get in. They did not play as well as I thought they were going to, especially going against the Titans team with Josh Dobbs starting at quarterback. And really just in general, I thought Trevor Lawrence's performance was kind of underwhelming. And I think he's a really, really talented quarterback, and he's obviously very good. But that definitely could be some cause for concern come playoff time if he starts to fall apart.
Yeah, like a part of me, like I want to pick the Jaguars just because I want them to win and it's fun. But like I think the Chargers would probably win, but it's not going to be chalk. So you have to pick one or two upsets in there, and I think this is just a game that I could definitely see it happening. So
for sure,
yeah.
Moving on to the first of our games on Sunday, we have the Miami Dolphins, who are the 7th seed, playing in Buffalo against the 2nd-seeded Bills. If you want to start,
the Buffalo Bills are going to win this game. The Dolphins are very injured right now, especially at the quarterback position. We don't know what's going on there. And just overall, like Tyreek Hill might out. Tyreek Hill's the only wild card in this situation. Like, if there's a chance Tyreek Hill's going to just like absolutely destroy them, run around and go for 200 yards. But I think that the odds are, even if that happens, Buffalo Bills, their defense is probably not going to let that happen. And even if it does, their offense and Josh Allen is going to be good enough to also match that firepower, just like they did against the Chiefs last year, and win this game. And I think that the Bills are going to win by like 10 points, 14 points, something in that realm.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier that you think that the 49ers and Seattle game is going to be the biggest blowout. I think I'm going to go with this game.
Especially with how they played against the Jets.
Yeah,
like when you win, what was it, 6-9, or did they score another field goal?
That. I think it was 6-9. Yeah,
something like that. Like, Steelers deserve that playoff spot, I swear. We've been playing so much better at the end of the season. The Dolphins, they start off like 6-3 or something. We start off like 2-6, and then we worked our way up to that 9-8 record. They fell off to 9-8. So I think we've got the upward trajectory. We should be in the playoffs. But regardless, both teams would lose to the Bills. The Bills are winning this game.
It's looking like Tua isn't going to be ready to play. They haven't made an official statement on that, but I think all signs are pointing towards the fact that he's still going to be in concussion protocol and won't be able to start for the Bills. Now, if their starter is Teddy Bridgewater or Skylar Thompson or something like that, I don't really think that'll make a difference. I just feel like the Bills are going to be able to completely overpower the Dolphins. And one thing I will say about the Bills right now is that they're on this like sports movie arc right now where they have obviously the big Damar Hamlin tragedy. Obviously, we're happy to see that he's been doing better. and he's back in Buffalo, which is great to see. But that's given a lot of vibes towards the positive growth of the Bills, and I could just totally see this ending like a total Disney football movie where the Bills go and win the Super Bowl and DeMar Hamlin comes back and he's happy and celebrating with the team and something like that. But on a more realistic note, the Bills are a very good football team, and they're definitely going to take care of business in Miami, or with Miami. Our next game on Sunday is in the NFC. We got the New York Giants at Minnesota Vikings. And
do you want to go? Or?
Yeah, I can get us started with this one. Honestly, I'm torn in this game. I don't know if I'm going to be ballsy enough to pick the Giants to get the upset against the third-seeded Vikings, but I could totally see it happening. Totally. I think that... No, wait, go ahead. Do you have something to say?
I am ballsy enough to pick that.
Yeah.
I think the Vikings are playing bad football right now, quite frankly, and they're very injured. The Giants are excited to be in the playoffs for the first time in a couple years. Their defense is looking really good. They're just going to completely obliterate an injured Vikings offensive line. Kayvon Thibodeau, like him or not, he's a really good player. He's going to get in there and wreak havoc. Azeez Ojulari, very good. Dexter Lawrence is going to eat up on like a third-string guard or whatever that they have. Like, this defense is going to completely overpower the front set, like just the offensive line of the Vikings. Like, Justin Jefferson's going to get involved. But I think overall, and like just the Brian Dable, and I'm liking the way this offense is coming together, honestly, with getting Isaiah Hodgins and involved, and just in general, like, I think that I want to pick the Giants. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think the Giants are going to come away with it.
For sure. I don't think it's really an exaggeration to say that the Vikings are one of the worst 3 seeds that we've seen in a long time. I don't know. Like, they almost lost to the Bears, I remember, in Minnesota. The Bears could have won, but I believe it was Dante Pettis, like, kind of threw the ball away on our last drive and fumbled, which is fine. Number 1 pick. It's fine. I'm not complaining. But I am saying that I like the vibes of this Giants team. They're fun. They're easy to root for. Brian Dable has done a great job turning around the Giants in just 1 year, which is super impressive. And as I mentioned earlier, like, injuries matter a lot, obviously. And you mentioned that the Vikings are kind of banged up right now. And I'm pretty sure that the Giants are pretty much at full strength. They're getting some key secondary pieces back to play in this game. I'm not sure how much like they can do to stop Justin Jefferson. That's a pretty hard thing to do. But in general, I do think that the Giants match up pretty well with this Vikings team, and there's a pretty realistic possibility of them taking them down.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But let's move on to the next wild card game then.
Yeah, it's 6-seeded Ravens at 3-seeded Bengals.
So you just mentioned how the Vikings were one of the worst three seeds in recent memory. The Cincinnati Bengals are one of the better.
Oh, okay. Okay, that is not where. Yep. Okay.
The Cincinnati Bengals are one of the best 3 seeds that we've seen in a while. I think they're playing some of the best football in the NFL right now. Arguably the best, honestly. They're with the Eagles struggling with their injuries to Jalen Hurts and stuff, and having a couple of losses in the past couple of games, and just in general, I think that their defense is really good. And Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, that offense has a ton of firepower. Joe Mixon. I think that the Bengals are poised to make a really deep playoff run this year, just like last year. And the only thing standing in the way is the fact that the AFC is completely stacked. Yeah. And it's going to be, honestly, it's a complete random. Like, I don't know who's going to come out of it. I don't know if it's going to be either the Bills, the Bengals, or the Chiefs who are going to come out and make it to the Super Bowl. But I think all 3 of those teams honestly have an argument for the best team in football.
Yeah.
Put the Eagles in there too. But those three teams in the AFC are three of the best teams in football, and three of the best teams in recent years, honestly. And I think that an injury, like we don't even know if Lamar Jackson's going to play in this game.
Dude,
If Lamar,
he hasn't practiced in a month.
yeah, Lamar Jackson, even if he does play, who's saying he's going to be at 100% and is going to be able to play this? And the Bengals have one of the best run defenses in the NFL with DJ Reader and some good linebackers and just a great scheming overall. And that's how the Ravens win, the running game and their defense. But I don't think they're going to be able to stop. They're going to be able to stop Joe Burrow and the Bengals offense, and their offense is going to be non-existent, at least without Lamar Jackson. If you put in Lamar, it might be a close-ish game, like 10 points. It's a gritty AFC North game, but I don't know. I'm definitely taking the Bengals here.
Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. There's not too much to say, really. Banged up Ravens team. I think the defense has looked all right. They just gave Roquan Smith a $100 million extension.
Glad you guys didn't do that?
Yeah, I am glad, actually. I don't know. I don't think that anything the Ravens do is going to be able to stop Joe Burrow and that Bengals offense, which we've talked about it before. It's just so explosive, and you never really know who's going to come out and hurt you from that offense. It's
a lot of fun. But yeah, let's move on to the next wildcard game then. The Monday night one, or do we have one more?
Yeah, no, it's Monday night. The 5th-seeded Dallas Cowboys travel to Tampa Bay to take on the 4th-seeded Buccaneers. And this game is probably the one that I'm the most excited for.
I have to agree. It's definitely going to be a really close game, and I could see a lot. I could see both teams coming away with the victory, and it's just going to be fun to watch.
I'm going with Tampa Bay. I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm going with Tampa Bay. I know that Tom Brady hasn't been the same Tom Brady that we all know and love. However, it's playoffs, and you know how Tom Brady performs in the playoffs. He might not be able to get the ball down the field quite as well as he used to, but I do really think that he's going to be able to just manipulate this game and just take over. And the Buccaneers offense is really going to be able to execute whatever game plan they have to take on that really, really talented Cowboys defense. But I do think that the Buccaneers are just going to take control of the game. And I'm also going to say lately I've been on kind of the Dak Prescott hate train.
Yes.
Yeah, he's not that good. He's not that good. He might be bad.
This is my view on this game. If Dak Prescott continues to play like he's been playing the past couple of weeks and how he has generally played in these bigger games in his career, then the Buccaneers are definitely going to come away with the victory, and it's probably not even going to be close because Tom Brady's just going to orchestrate a masterclass, and the Bucs defense is just going to lock down. Dak Prescott is leading the league in interceptions, and he's literally missed a couple of games this year. He's at one of the highest turnover-worthy play percentages in the NFL, and he's just coming off a really bad season. But then again, we know Dak Prescott does have the ability to pop off for a 400-yard passing game. And CeeDee Lamb is a really talented receiver. They've got some Micah Parsons, Trevon Diggs, DeMarcus Lawrence. They've got talent on the defense. So I wouldn't be surprised if it becomes a close game. But with how they've been playing recently, I think that this game definitely trends towards the Bucs winning. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys are able to put it together to the playoffs. But I'd also vote against that because Mike McCarthy's the coach, and I don't think he's going to rally this team together for the playoffs. I think that Tom Brady is going to rally his team and lead them to the divisional round.
Yeah, the one thing I will say is that Cowboys rushing attack on offense, the two-headed attack of Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott has definitely been something that's I don't want to say carried their offense, but definitely when they're playing well, it makes things a lot easier for Dak. And you can tell that when teams tend to focus on shutting down the run, which I feel like there's a good chance of that Buccaneers defense doing and executing pretty well with the names that they have on the defensive side of the ball, it's really going to expose that Dak is just not that guy.
Yeah, I don't even think they're going to have to focus all that much power towards defending the run in order to stop it well, because you've got names like Vita Vea, you've got names like Devin White, Levante David, and all those names on that defensive line. Like you have a lot of talent in stopping the run. You don't even have to load the box in order to stop it. You can still bring some people back and drop some people back in coverage, even bring in an extra defensive back if you want a nickel, and you'll probably be fine.
Yeah. But I am excited to watch it, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Box score watchers are definitely going to be exposed in this game, because I could easily see Brady going out there and maybe having like just close to 200 passing yards and maybe one touchdown. People are going to be like, oh my God, Brady's washed, blah, blah, blah. But I have a feeling that when you sit down and watch the game, Brady's just going to be slowly picking apart that defense and just picking up the yards that he needs to, scoring just as many points as he needs to for the Bucs to go out and win this game.
Yeah, he's going to be methodically setting protections to keep Micah Parsons out of the backfield. He's going to be manipulating the pocket, manipulating defenders. Trayvon Diggs is going to be caught leaning, and he's going to get a big play let up on him. But it's going to be methodical. It's going to be good. Tom Brady's going to clutch up in the playoffs. Otherwise, he should have just retired and
kept his family together.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for the wild card predictions. Now we're just going to fast forward and real quickly go to our individual conference championship predictions, and then also our Super Bowl predictions. So Cooper, do you want to go first for the let's start with the NFC. And then
yeah, sure. I feel like this is pretty chalk in my opinion. This NFC, I think is just going to play out where the 49ers cruise through their side of the bracket. They're going to pretty easily beat the Seahawks, and then pretty easily beat either the Vikings or Giants, whoever ends up winning that game.
Wouldn't they play we have the Buccaneers winning? Wouldn't they play the Buccaneers and then the Eagles end up playing the Giants, because the Giants are the lower seed, so the first seed would play.
Oh shoot! Oh, I have the Vikings winning.
Oh, okay.
So I guess So it depends on it does depend on that though.
Yeah.
Oh, we should just say that. Seeding, like the bracket for the NFL playoffs, obviously we get it confused too. The Eagles and Chiefs are guaranteed to play the lowest seed that advances.
Yeah,
so going into like a set bracket.
Yeah, going into the divisional, they reseed, so the lowest seed plays the highest seed again, and then the two middle seeds play. So it just makes the games more fun. So
sure.
Yeah,
and okay. So on my side, I have the Vikings beating the Giants. So then the 49ers would play them and win, and then even though the Eagles have, I don't know, I've seen a little cause for concern with the Eagles recently. I do think that they're going to be the team that beats the Bucs in the divisional. And then I think it'll be a 49ers-Eagles conference championship, and I have the 49ers winning.
On my side, I have the Giants beating the winning in the first round against the Vikings, and then they match up against the Eagles, and I think the Eagles pretty easily handle the Giants. I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants keep it a little bit close, because they're going to come in pumped up against their division rival, and
that would be a great game to watch.
It's going to be it would be a lot of fun to watch, but I think the Eagles are going to win that game 9 times out of 10, and even though it might be close. And then on the other side, this game is going to be interesting if it happens. The Buccaneers versus the 49ers. Because if there's a team that could beat the 49ers that matches up well, I think the Buccaneers match up better against the 49ers than even the Eagles do. Maybe about the same. Because like Tom Brady is going to be able to navigate the pocket, set protections, get the ball out quickly and efficiently to avoid the 49ers pass rush with Nick Bosa and Eric Armstead and all the talent they have there, while being able to throw the ball on accurately and make good decisions around their linebackers over the middle. And just in general, I think that he that the Buccaneers would have a better job against the 49ers juggernaut of a defense. And while also the Bucs defense just being able to confuse Brock Purdy and show his problems a little bit more. But I think I'm still going to go with the safe pick and have the 49ers beating the Buccaneers. But it's it's going to be a very, very close game and a very fun game, I think. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if Tom Brady is able to clutch out a NFC Championship appearance.
He always finds a way.
He always finds a way. But yeah, I'm going to have it be the 49ers versus the Eagles, and then I'm going to have the Eagles win that game. I think that Jalen Hurts is going to be back in his rhythm after being hurt for a couple of weeks at the end of the regular season after having a bye week and then one game against the Giants to warm up. I think he'll be back in rhythm, and this Eagles team will be chugging once again, and they'll find their way in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening, for sure. We can move on to the AFC. And for me, I can start. I have the Cincinnati Bengals playing the Kansas City Chiefs. And one thing I will say is that...
Wait, I thought that can't happen, though, right? Because the Bengals are the 3 seed.
But can't... Wait, what?
The Bengals are the 3 seed and the Chiefs are the 1 seed.
No, I'm not saying the divisional. I'm saying in the conference championship.
Oh, in the My bad.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I can do divisional.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, let's
no, that's fine. I have the Bengals playing the Bills in the divisional. And that's definitely going to be a super fun game to watch. And I am pretty scared to pick against the Bills, a team that the vast majority of NFL fans thought were the Super Bowl favorites coming into the season. The Bills that have battled adversity, especially as of late. I'm sure they've definitely come closer together as a team recently. However, I'm going to take the Bengals to move on in that game. And then I have the Chargers beating the Jags. So it would be Chargers versus Chiefs. And I actually think that game would be closer than a lot of people think. It's an AFC West showdown. I think if the Chargers can make it past the Jaguars, which I believe they will, they're definitely going to give the Chiefs a way better fight than the Jaguars would have. But I do still have the Chiefs winning. And then in the AFC Conference Championship, I have the Bengals beating the Chiefs.
Okay, so I'm going to start with my divisional round as well. Sure. I think I'm even though I said it was going to be really close and I might have end up picking the Jaguars, I think I'm going to backtrack on that and pick the Chargers. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if the Jaguars are ending up beating the Chargers, but I'm going to have the Chargers versus the Chiefs. And then Justin Herbert always plays really well against the Chiefs. I feel like they're division rivals, two very young, very talented quarterbacks. But I do think the Chiefs are going to come away with a victory and advance to the conference championship. And on the other side, this game might as well be the Super Bowl, honestly, dude. The Bengals and the Bills, two of my favorite teams in the NFL, two of my favorite teams to watch, my favorite teams. They have some of my favorite players. Joe Burrow and Josh Allen might honestly be my two favorite quarterbacks in football right now. As I'm talking right now, I don't know who I'm going to pick to win. I think I'm going to go with the Bills. Partially because you said the Bengals and I want to change it up a little bit just to see an alternate ending potentially.
Sure. But
also, I think that the Bills are inspired right now with what's happening with DeMar Hamlin and just in general. I think that Josh Allen is going to turn up. He's gonna fucking rock in the playoffs just like last year. And Josh Allen, I've been very adamant about this. When all quarterbacks are at their best, Josh Allen is the best quarterback in football. But he just has to be at his best. But I think that in the big moment in the playoffs, he's going to be at his best, and this Bills team is going to be unbeatable, honestly, because their defense is really good. Their offense, Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen, pretty good offensive line. They have a couple of question marks there, but overall pretty solid. I just think that Josh Allen's going to will his team over the Bengals, but game's going to be so fun, dude. I'm looking forward to it already, and we're still only in the wild card.
Might not even happen.
No, it'll happen. It'll happen. The Bills are beating the Dolphins, and the Bengals are beating the Ravens, so it'll happen. Yeah. But yeah, and then the conference championship, Bills Chiefs. We can only hope to have a matchup as good as these teams did last year, but I'm going to go with the Bills this time. I think they're going to get revenge from last year, and the Bills are going to advance to the Super Bowl to play the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah. I like that we both agree that whoever ends up winning that Bengals-Bills game is going to be the one that wins the conference. And that is kind of unfortunate for those two teams, but that's just kind of how seeding works.
How the cookie crumbled.
Yeah. Should we do Super Bowl picks?
Yeah, sure. I think I'm gonna go with the Bills. I'm gonna rock with them. I chose them in the preseason. I'm rocking with them now. Josh Allen's my guy. I'm gonna perpetually be known as an Eagles hater, but I'm picking the Bills over the Eagles. I think the AFC is more talented overall, so I think, yeah. I
can't exactly stick with my Super Bowl prediction from preseason because I thought that the Rams would run it back. I think I did say that the Chargers would make it.
You did, yeah.
Yeah, but that's just not going to happen. But I'm going to go with Mr. Irrelevant and the 49ers. I think that I don't know. I just feel like they have good vibes, and obviously I feel like if you go strictly based off vibes, right now the Bills probably are the team to pick based off of, I don't know. We've talked about it, everything they're going through, all that. But just all the weapons that the 49ers have on offense. You've got Debo, you've got CMC, you've got Kittle, you've got Ayuk, Kyle Juszczyk, whatever. Fullback that can run out there and make plays. I don't know. That defense is probably top three.
The best in football. Yeah, it's the best in football.
Yeah. Best defense in football. Talented offense, full of playmakers. If Brock Purdy can play the way that he's been playing, I don't really see anyone that can stop them.
Yeah, that's a ballsy pick, and I like it. 49ers are an incredible team, and it's fun. So, yeah.
For sure. Is there anything else we need to talk about that we haven't really talked about?
I think we're probably good.
Yeah. One player that I think we should watch out for, I feel like throughout the playoffs, is Christian McCaffrey. I don't really think he's played. Has he been in the playoffs? I don't think so.
Probably not. He's been a Panther his whole career, so
I don't know if in his rookie season was when they were still contending in the NFC South, but I don't think so. I think that he's going to be just a huge impact player like he always is with the 49ers, and he's going to be probably the driving factor in that offense. I feel like ever since Jimmy G has gone down, McCaffrey has seen a lot more usage rate with Purdy as quarterback. I think the 49ers are going to have a pretty good balance between running and passing the ball. But the good thing about that for CMC is that he does both. So,
yeah, the 49ers, they're such a fun, interesting team. Dude, if they had imagine if they had Trey Lance, and then if Trey Lance was able to meet his potential.
That's a big if, though.
No, not even meet, just if he was going to be able to show strides.
Yeah,
even Trey Lance showing strides. Brock Purdy, he
could do what Brock Purdy does.
Yeah, Brock Purdy,
and also scramble and throw the ball a million yards down the field.
Yeah, Brock Purdy's good, but is Brock Purdy elevating this offense? No, it's just he's running Kyle Shanahan's offense.
Keeping it along.
Yeah, he's doing what Jimmy Garoppolo's been doing for the past couple of years. He's able to run what Kyle Shanahan's asking him to, and that makes Shanahan happy, and that makes the offense chug. So, I don't know. In the playoffs, you might need something more than that, but who knows? The 49ers were able to make it to the playoffs a couple years ago, so maybe they'll do it again with the same formula. So,
yeah.
yeah.
One take that I have seen, just going off that Brock Purdy stuff, is that like it's going to revolutionize the way that quarterbacks are looked at, and I'm not sure if I'm fully buying in due to like the huge difference that having a star QB makes. But if you have a head coach that can run an offense like Shanahan does, maybe the quarterback position is replaceable. I mean, you take in the last pick in the draft, just throw him in there, and he's been able to just do just fine, and they've been chugging along. Obviously, that's a lot of things to combine, like with the Shanahan system, the weapons that they have. But it is interesting to think about for guys like Stetson Bennett or even like Max Duggan coming in as rookies.
Here's the thing with that, though. Like, I see where you're coming from, and I see where that take is coming from in general, but I just counter that with look at the playoffs last year. You saw shootouts with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. You saw Joe Burrow leading his team to the playoffs. Like you saw, like it's a quarterback-driven league, and I feel like that's what caused the 49ers to trade up and draft Trey Lance in the first place, because they knew that, oh, Jimmy Garoppolo, he's able to get us wins. He's able to make us have an efficient offense. But if we need to convert on this key third down, if we need to have a game-winning drive and not take up a lot of the clock and not do all that stuff, like there's a reason Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs were able to beat them.
Right.
And I don't know. I just think that not like the 49ers are the only team that I can really see being able to get away with that because they have Shanahan and because they have all of these talented pieces around them. But like at the same time, it might not be a bad strategy because quarterbacks are demanding like $50 million a year. Like I saw that freaking Daniel Jones was asking for $46 million a year, and like Daniel Jones, yeah, you've shown a little bit of improvement this year, but you're not a $47 million a year quarterback.
Sure.
And like if you're just wanting to draft a guy and he'll be a top 16 quarterback in football until his rookie contract's done, don't pay him, you'll have a stacked roster around him. You have that Super Bowl window that they're going to try to capitalize on. Joe Burrow thinks it's his entire career, but
that was badass.
That was badass. That was.
Yeah, I think that pretty much wraps us up, though.
Yeah. You want to close this out?
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. We know we haven't really dropped anything in a while. We had some technical difficulties recently trying to record new episodes. So hopefully this one gets out good.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. We're looking forward to the NFL playoffs, and hope you guys are too.
Yeah, so thanks for watching. We'd appreciate any support we can get. We're going to be posting our playoff brackets on our Instagram account, Back Pocket Topics. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, thank you for listening, and have a nice day.
Yeah, peace out, guys.
See ya.